Hope by Danske Dandridge. By Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Ah me! What battles I have fought! I would I knew the rune that lays The swarming shades of weary days That take the lonely house of thought, A restless rabble unsubdued, A wild and haggard multitude, Distorted shapes that spring from tears And torments born of wedded fears. Sometimes, amid the changing rout, A rainbowed figure glides about, And from her brightness, like the day, The wimpling shadows slink away. I know that lyre of 7 strings, The 7 colors of her wings, The 7 blossoms of her crown; There violets twine for amethyst, Small lilies white as silkweed down; There myrtle sprays her locks have kissed, And pansies that are beryl blue, And varied roses, rich of hue, With iridescent, loving eyes Of buds that bloom in Paradise. Come often, thou ethereal child, New string thy lyre and sing to me; Thy voice ecstatic, fresh and wild, Enthralls each dark browed fantasy. Beyond the walls she bids me peer, To see a future, dim and dear. Sweet faces shining through the mist, Like children waiting to be kissed; A lovely land that knows no pain, Atlantis land beyond life's main, Where we who love may love again. Ah me! Is this beyond the plan Of God's beneficence to man? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wood Demon by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. The Wood Demon. 1. Spellbound. Within this wood there is a sprite. He blows his horn both noon and night. He blows his horn both night and day. But once he blew my soul away. He has a lyre, he has a lute, He has a viol and a flute. There are strange blossoms in the wood, Their hue is as the hue of blood. And in what nook these blossoms grow There is no wight but him doth know. He finds and plucks them stem by stem, And wreathes his cap and horn with them, Then sits and pipes beneath his tree. Airily, oh, airily. Of all the women of my race, There is no fairer form or face, None wedded to a braver man, Of all the women of my clan. Of all the birds that sing and fly, None bore so light a heart as I. One day I loitered in the glen, Apart from sight and sound of men. Afar I heard an elfin horn. Alas, that ever I was born! I saw, as softly I drew nigh, What ne'er was seen by mortal eye. I heard, and still at times I hear, What ne'er was heard by mortal ear. But when I saw that blood-red flower, I felt the demon's eerie power. And when I heard that luring strain, I knew I ne'er might rest again. Sometimes when dews of evening fall, The message of the fairy horn Upon the singing breeze is borne. I leave my good man in the hall, I leave my home, my children, all, To follow where it summons me. Airily, oh, airily. When from the forest I return, My pulses throb, my temples burn. "O mother dear, your eyes are wild, You tremble," cries my fairest child. Your face is drawn and pinched and old, your head is hot, your hands are cold. O father, father, much I fear, it is not well with mother dear. My good man groans, he does not speak, the piteous tears run down his cheek. The children cluster round my knee to hear a slumber song from me. I rock the youngest on my breast and put an arm around the rest. My eldest daughter stands aloof and reads me with her eyes of ruth. I bring them blossoms from the wood, but not the flower whose hue is blood. I sing them songs of every bird, but not a song of all I heard. That mocking pixie piped to me, airily, oh, airily. When all the place is still in sleep, by turns I laugh, by turns I weep, by turns I sing, by turns I pray, so wears the restless night away. My step is slow, my cheek is pale, I feel my vital forces fail. Ere long I know that I must lie a-tremble 'neath a gleaming eye, and as my heart beats die away, his wildest weird that sprite will play. And as I draw my feeblest breath, his sweetest strain will mock at death. And when, at last, my spirit flies, he will not pause to close mine eyes, but he will sing my threnody, airily, oh, airily. 2. The Fairest Child. Upon the eve of holy day, all weary on my bed I lay. Sure never yet in woman's breast beat such a heart of fierce unrest. When, as I wept to give me ease, a summons floated down the breeze. It was the demon calling me, airily, oh, airily. My good man was away from home. I said, alas, mine hour is come. I rose, I heaved a piteous sigh. I said, mine hour is come to die. I kissed my children one by one. I gazed their sleeping forms upon. But when I kissed my fairest child, her cheeks were wet, her eyes were wild. My little maid who might not sleep, because she heard her mother weep. I threw the casement open wide, nor knew that she was by my side. The moon was very near the full, the scudding clouds were white as mull. With softest tread of naked feet, and little heart that beat and beat, through the dark forests piteously, my fairest daughter followed me. I did not pause to glance behind, for still I heard, upon the wind, that distant piping summon me, airily, oh, airily. At length I reached the charmed ring, wherein that demon sat to sing. His lark-like strain was sweet to hear, and slowly, slowly I drew near. It was a hollow, dank and dern, with tumbled grass and tangled fern. Again I smelled the blood-red flower. Ah me, it was a fearful hour. He smiled, he beckoned with his hand. I had no power to sit or stand. He held me with his gleaming eye. I had no power to speak or cry. I sank upon the matted grass, and waited for my soul to pass. The while he sang my threnody, airily, oh, airily. I looked my last on east and west, my spirit struggled in my breast. I looked my last on south and north, my spirit striving to be forth. But, as I closed my glazing eye, I heard my fairest daughter cry, "O mother, mother, do not die!" I heard my fairest daughter say, "O mother, mother, rise and pray!" Without the ring of charmed trees, my child she fell upon her knees. Her face was white, her feet were bare, her hands were clasped in fervent prayer, her locks were loose upon the breeze. She prayed, her voice was weak with fear, O Jesus, save my mother dear. The setting moon was very bright. Good sooth, it was a holy sight. Just as the precious name she said, the demon paused and reared his head. A discord marred his dreamy strain. He writhed as one in mortal pain. He threw his horn upon the path, and fled as one flees from wrath. He left his lyre, he left his lute, he left his viol and his flute. The blossoms drooped as in a swound, they turned to blood drops on the ground. And where I lay, beneath his tree, the dripping blood drops clung to me. My daughter sobbed, her voice was low, "Oh, dearest mother, let us go." She stooped, she raised me by the hand, her presence gave me strength to stand. The moon had set, the way was drear, we shook with cold, we sobbed with fear. But softly, softly all the way, the maiden did not cease to pray. And when the dreary night was past, we knelt together, safe at last. The day, the holy day was born, it was the blessed Easter morn. And now what more remains to tell? My fairest daughter prayeth well. She prayed my spirit free from spell. But I was weaker than a child. My looks were strange, my words were wild. For many days my fever raged, by thoughtful tenderness assuaged. For womanlike and skilfully, my blessed maiden tended me. Sometimes, within the dusky hall, I deem I hear the spirit call. And then, my troubled soul to calm, I drown it with a holy psalm. Sometimes, upon my bed at night, I wake and shiver with affright, or lie asleep from dusk to morn, and dream I hear the demon horn. Afar I dream, it summons me, airily, oh, airily. End a poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fairy Camp by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. What did I see in the woods today? I saw a fairies' gypsy camp. The tents were toadstools, brown and grey, among the bracken, soiled and damp. I called on a cowslip mid the green, and borrowed a bit of fairy gold. And then I found the gypsy queen, and so I had my fortune told. Ah, yes, she told me a secret true, that wild-eyed gypsy, brown and red, but I may not tell it out to you, for that would break the charm, she said. And if you seek them by yourself, you will not find that strolling band. They have pilfered the wild bees' hoarded pelf, and flitted away to another land. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Dryad by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. 'Tis my pleasure not to know much of mortal joy or pain. Blithely through my life I go, with playful fancies in my brain. A furtive creature, wild and shy, I may not meet a mortal eye. In densest woods alone I lurk, to watch the building birds at work. Like a free fantastic elf, I weave my hair with berries red, flit and frolic by myself, and mock the singers overhead. I used to be a thing of bliss, I knew no other life than this. But on a day, a golden day, I found a mortal far astray. I heard his footfall on the grass, and held my breath till he should pass. He had a free and rustic grace, an agile frame, a swarthy face. His coat was green, his cap was red, his black locks tangled round his head. I deemed him, as he loitered by, almost as beautiful as I. He paused within an open glade, and many a solemn word he said. And ever, when he ceased to speak, large teardrops trickled down his cheek. His eyes gazed upward through the air. I looked, but there was nothing there. He raised his arms, hand clasped in hand. His words I could not understand, then sighed and smiled, and so was gone. 'Twas then I learned I was alone. When young birds chirp themselves to sleep, I sometimes wish that I could weep. I sit me down upon a stone, and feel that I am all alone. I rest my cheek upon my hand, and sigh, but nothing understands. I sing, my very songs are sad. I would I never had seen the lad. Ah me, I feel what must be pain. Would I might see the lad again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
May by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. When Eve went out from paradise, with looks distraught and sad surmise, and when she tried to make a home for Adam in the thorny land, by kinship I can understand the homesick longing that would come, the sad and lonely memories of Eden trees and Eden skies. At sunset, when her work was done, perchance she sat to muse alone, and hear the Eden waters flow. The birds might sing, but she was mute, still tasting in her mouth the fruit, that sweet beginning of her woe. Perchance some bird that she had fed would come to flutter overhead, some happy bird that built his nest within the cherub guarded spot, would come to thrill her aching breast with tender jargon unforgot, or bring her in his beak a flower she planted in a peaceful hour. What heritage, O weeping Eve, your wistful daughters yet receive, of yearnings and of longing pain for that which may not come again? What dim inherited desire, still thwarted by the swords of fire, yet when the riot garden close just hints the coming of the rose, when sumptuous tulips burst apart and rock the wild bee heart to heart, when languid butterflies a-swing from apple blossoms droop the wing, when purple iris by the wall, imperial iris, proud and tall, with Persian lilac is ablow, and nodding lilies, row by row, when hoyden creepers run apace to kiss the lime rock's wrinkled face, when Snowball turns from green to white, and keeps the secret that she knows, the pretty secret out of sight, wherein the robin's household grows, and when we pace the pleached aisles, and share with tender words and smiles the beauty of the summer feast, 'tis then we miss our Eden least. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sympathy by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Shempf. We talked together, you and I. It was a queenly night in June. Low hung the moon in yonder sky, and on your cheek low glanced the moon. Your gentle hand was mine to hold, my ill-fed heart began to speak, and ever as the tale was told, dear friend, the moon was on your cheek. Old loss that would not let me rest, old grief that slept but ever lay a languid load upon my breast, awoke and wept themselves away. Up climbed the moon, slow waned the night, and still you bent to hear me speak. I drank the comfort of the light in those bright tears upon your cheek. From off my life the burdens fall, still in their grave through tranquil years they rest, those weary sorrows, all, that faded in the light of tears. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Prelude by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Shempf. What is a stir where the shadows are dense? Something that baffles the curious sense. Something that shimmers and whispers and sighs. Something that glimmers to far-reaching eyes. The shape of a song, or the soul of a stream, or a being awake from a beautiful dream, is pulsing and stirring and making prelude in the reverent heart of the reverend wood. Is it a word that I never have heard? Is it a hint of a jubilant bird that never was hinted before? Oh, what can it be that is new in the wood, that thrills with its meaning but half understood, a rapture and more? A sound is created that never the breeze has carried till now through the city of trees. Fresh tidings from God, a new message is sent through I know not what delicate instrument. And I would I had senses as fine as a sprite, to hear and interpret the message aright. But I think, oh I think, as I fall on my knees, God is walking and talking again mid the trees. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fairies Masquerade by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. Who hath not heard, when life was young, at nurse's or at grandam's knee, enthralling stories said or sung, of magic realms of fairy, of elves that sport beneath the moon, around the hazel or the thorn, while crickets chirp a dancing tune, till all the east is red with morn; of how they freak with tricksy plays, or slide adown the moony rays, now at their round stone table sit, a dainty leaf their table cloth, while firefly waiters round them flit. They sup their steaming sweet pea broth, the meal is heaped upon the board, 'tis part the brown bee's cherished hoard, a salad of the watercress, which with wild mustard seed they dress, with sour and pepper grasses too, and oil distilled from meadow rue. They've butter in a buttercup, sippets of pollen dipped in dew, wine in blue bottles bottled up, and cakes of violets dried with care, bread of the flour of mignonette, wild strawberries in cordial wet, of elder juice well spiced and rare. Would I might taste the fairies' fare. At peep of dawn they'd steal away, and lurk amid the flowers all day. But now, alas, through many a night, beside the old witch hazel tree, we'd vainly watch till morning light, nor hint of fairy frolic see. And are they exiled from the earth, in some remoteness of a star, where no intrusive mortals are? They hold fantastic revelry, with pranks and airy jollity, with laughter shrill and antic mirth, they trip around the favored tree. There, some, alas, the whole year long, and life is like a cheery song. And do they revisit earth to view the haunts that gave them birth? Ah, yes, though not in elfin guise, but in some garb of insect dressed, in shape as suits the fancy best of motley moths or shining flies, or some shy creature of the wood may better please the wayward mood. Yon bird, scarce bigger than a bee, that darts about the tulip tree, a radiant rainbow-colored thing, now poising on its humming wing, may be a princess in disguise, or yonder troop of butterflies, that share with bird and bee and sup a draught from every flower cup, and chase each other wantonly, with many a freakish pleasantry, that flutter o'er the clover heads, and suck the sweets of lily beds. Maybe an errant elfin band, bright mummers out of Fairy-Land, to visit each accustomed place in beechen dell or bosky glade, and idle there a little space to hold their frolic masquerade. Then flitting through the pearly sky, up to their new-found home they fly, and bid the prosy earth good-bye. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Dreams by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Run with me, elves, and lay me on that bed, bud strewn beneath my cirque of sister trees, wherethrough the young moon hath embroidered faint soothing spell in silver traceries. Run with me, for I feel the need of dreams. Earth palls, and naught is fair but that which seems. Fashion thin horns of blossom tubes and blow. Tinkle the lucent pebbles of the rill. Fetch me a mating bird to twitter low. Spin sounds of night, fine drawn, remote and shrill. And let that elfin whom I hold most dear Whisper a certain name within mine ear. Then, while I sleep, the very tender moon Ne'er dreamed such sport with her Endymion, Nor any love rapt mortal, late or soon, Such snatch of rapture from the immortals won As I, that, waking, have become so dull, But in my dreams so glad and beautiful. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Three Days by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. It was a wild and lonely hill, and in the long grass at my feet You lay, the breeze was almost still, Poising on airy wings and sweet. With clever breath of resting cows, The light fell softly through the boughs. That light was dear for dear love's sake. 'Twas there our hearts began to wake. We watched the summer sun arise, Standing together on the lawn, Then turned and in each other's eyes We gazed to watch another dawn. We felt the radiance of the sun. Our day of love was just begun. That day was sweet for sweet pain's sake. 'Twas there our hearts began to ache. They call the old wood Fairy-Land. I know we lovers loitered there. 'Twas nightfall, we were hand in hand, While distant thunder stirred the air. Your trembling tones were low and deep. We smiled, we laughed, lest we should weep. Then parted, for dear honor's sake, for honor's sake, for honor's sake. That spot is dear for honor's sake. 'Twas there our hearts began to break. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Longings by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. 1. What of the loves that glow in the warm breast? What of the hopes that grow into unrest? Hopes we may never know, still unconfessed. What of the tears that well in the hid eyes? What of the griefs that swell as they arise? Griefs that we dare to tell only by sighs. 2. What of the looks that speak? What of the changing cheek? Silent, my dear, and shy? Needless are words and weak. Into the depths I seek of thy clear eye. 3. What of the hiding veils? What of the doubt that quails? What of the yearning throe? Love, shall I never know? What of the faith that fails? What of the no avails? What of the hearts that break for a sweet passion's sake? O my own parted friend, over the distance send, by thy soul sympathy, one little message dear, vapor of one small tear, given to me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Love's Sacrifice by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org. I know you long for me tonight. I know you hurt impatient hands against sepulchre that stands o'er our delight. If I could only comfort you, could come tonight in spirit form, yet with my glad heart beating warm, to find you true, and lay your head upon my breast, and hush your sighs of pain, and still your eager yearning at my will, and give you rest. Yet here, so many leagues away, to grieve for you is all my part, to feel your sorrow in my heart, to love and pray. Yet is this all? It is not so. You know me fond, you know me true, my life is crowned with love of you, and this you know. What then, if we must never meet, to feel each other's sympathy through all the leagues of land and sea? Is this not sweet? My comrades all, our prayers arise, like incense from our broken will, which on God's altar burneth still. Love's Sacrifice. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Parted by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Oh, that I stood in the presence of God, in the palpable presence of God, and had a voice for one cry, that my body were dead and my soul were alive in the light of that visible eye. God, give me one boon for my life that was patient and long, for the waiting, the years, oh, the years, for the hunger and tears, for the hurt and the wrong. God, grant me one boon for my life. Somewhere, oh, thou knowest the where, in thy worlds with their heavens and hells, in the limitless spaces of air, He is, and thou knowest the where. A boon, oh, a boon, send me there. For I bore it, the worst that was sent, the pitiless ache of the tears, the loss and the fierce discontent, and the horror and fears of that silence more hard than a wall, and the fancies so maddeningly sweet, more cruel than all. By the love that is deathless I call as I fall at thy feet. Would I cry? Would the floods be unsealed in that presence, in sight of the thrones? Would I jar the loud joy of the blest with my strenuous tones? Or stand with my hand on my mouth, unable to praise or to pray, just feeling? Thou knowest it all. What is there to say? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Struggle by Danske Dandridge, read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. Body, I pray you, let me go. It is a soul that struggles so. Body, I see on yonder height dim reflex of a solemn light, a flame that shineth from the place where beauty walks with naked face. It is a flame you cannot see. Lie down, you clod, and set me free. Body, I pray you, let me go. It is a soul that striveth so. Body, I hear dim sounds afar, dripping from some diviner star. Dim sounds of holy revelry. It is my mates that sing, and I must drink that song or break my heart. Body, I pray you, let us part. Comrade, your frame is worn and frail, your vital force begins to fail. I long for life, but you for rest. Then, body, let us both be blessed. When you are lying 'neath the dew, I'll come sometimes and sing to you, but you will feel nor pain nor woe. Body, I pray you, let me go. Thus strove a being, beauty fain. He broke his bonds and fled amain. He fled, the body lay bereft, but on its lips a smile was left, as if that spirit, looking back, shouted upon his upward track, with joyous tone and hurried breath, some message that could comfort death. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Dove on the Monument by Danske Dandridge, read for LibriVox.org by Phil Shempf. Sometimes, when vesper sparrows flit and trill their tranquil evensong, within a peaceful place I sit and muse, the mounded graves among. I know, nor brings the thought a sigh, that here my outgrown frame must lie, nor would I choose a happier lot than here to lie, my life forgot, and let the soothing silence rest the old-time tumult of my breast, till, at the coming of my King, I rise to give him welcoming. The summer's heat is tempered here, nor seems the winter's breath severe. Here every choicest shrub and tree may bud and bloom luxuriantly. Here singing birds of every kind secluded sanctuary find. With carolings the air they fill, with warbling sweet or whistling shrill. For here no ruthless sportsmen come, nor noisy troops of impish boys may violate each treasured home, and fright the parents from their joys, till, fretted by domestic cares, they lose their songs and sportive airs. But quiet mourners bringing wreaths move on with such a reverent tread, that naked nestlings 'mid the leaves may boldly stretch each callow head, and peer above their crowded bed. And anxious mothers scarce will fly when such soft footsteps pass them by. When once with sauntering step and slow I loitered here in pensive mood, content with tranquil solitude, and with my quiet thoughts content, anon I raised my eyes, and lo, a dove upon a monument stood for a moment motionless, and seemed the sacred spot to bless. She knew no cause for fear of me to mar her calm security, but brooded there a little space outlined against the evening's gray, as though she loved the hallowed place. Then bending with a gentle grace, spread her soft wings and passed away. 'Tis well, I thought, this morning dove, emblem of heavenly peace and love, should make, where these tired sleepers rest, in this still spot her sheltered nest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The White Rose by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. I see, in the garden border, a dream of beauty there, for the white rose blooms in order, that the moon may call her fair. In the tangled garden lonely, no other bloom is nigh, the trellised roses only, and the white rose in the sky. And all the night is sleeping, except the whippoorwill, and the distant mountains keeping a drowsy vigil still. Come out to the garden, lover, and drink the dreaming rose, and bid the moon discover the secret that she knows. Then turn to the lady tender, and read in her eyes' love light the meaning they surrender of the rose and the moon and the night. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Remonstrance to Fancy by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Fancy, fancy, let me be. Cease to jibe and jeer at me. Old friend, you are no longer kind. Why make a league with discontent? My eyes to present good you blind, and weave an artful tapestry of pictured joys and beauties blent, eerie with what can never be, an elvish glamour over all, fitful and fantastical, bewildering and rich and strange, with tints of wild, elusive hope, as intricate and prone to change as forms of a kaleidoscope. Dear fancy, let this fooling end. I long to keep you for my friend, to fling a rainbow now and then blithely across my spirit's heaven, with shapes too fine for mortal ken, to limn the painted skies of even, or in dark winter months to throw a summer landscape o'er the snow. But, wilful fairy, tempt me not to think, to do, I know not what. Do not you my pleasures wrong with your deluding siren song, and poisoned whisper. Better far the gifts in my bestowal are, or kindle longings in my frame, that like a sudden leaping flame scorch and shrivel and destroy glad innocence and peace and joy. Come with looks serene and fair, and a mild engaging air. Then if you give a hand to trust, and one to honor, do your will. Freak and frolic if you must, but be a friend to reason still. or come as erst in quaintest guise, and let amusement light your eyes, like a hoyden flushed and free, taking liberties with me. Strip my sober working dress, deck me in all daintiness, dimple as you used to do, and I will gaily go with you, but shine with no uncanny gleam, like a tricksy, teasing sprite, or a will-o'-the-wisp at night, dancing up a sluggish stream. Keep the thoughts I should not think, keep the dreams I dare not dream, and do not sport so near the brink of that wild chasm, scarped and steep, where late you sported in my sleep. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Four-Leaved Clover by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. We went a-walking on a day, I and my Irish lover, and strange to say, upon the way we found a four-leaved clover. Good luck, my happy swain did cry, and pinned it on my breast. And then, why should I amplify? All lovers know the rest. They know what foolish things were said, what foolish things were done, on what light wings the moments sped until the set of sun, and neither cared to look beyond nor con the future over, for I was young and he was fond, and all the world was clover. O happy days, too quickly flown, that memory oft retraces! We too have sadder, wiser grown, and care has lined our faces. Yet still I sometimes look and smile upon a faded leaf, and with a tender thought beguile my hours of pain and grief. And I have been a happy wife these dozen years and over, and he has led a useful life, he raises wheat and clover. But all the luck we found that day, I often think with wonder, was in the fate we both obey, which tore us twain asunder. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Folly-Land by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. In Folly-Land what witchery! What pretty looks, what eyes there be! What gamesome ways, what dimpled smiles! What lissom limbs, what frolic wiles! What easy laughter, fresh and clear! What pranks to play, what jests to hear! Old Time forgets to shake his sand, the days go tripping hand in hand, in Folly-Land, in Folly-Land. In Folly-Land, one idle hour, the moonlight had a wizard power. Its eerie glamour turned my brain. I would that I were there again. We stood together 'neath the sky. A bird was chirping drowsily. He smiled, he sighed, he held my hand. Ah me! Ah well, we understand 'twas Folly-Land, 'twas Folly-Land. My sober friend, how worn your looks! Your heart is in your mouldy books. Here's half a cobweb on your brow. I seldom see you jovial now. fling down your volumes and be free to take a pleasure trip with me. Come, here's my heart and here's my hand. We'll launch our skiff and seek the strand of Folly-Land, of Folly-Land. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Glamour-Land by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. Ah, dim, lost Glamour-Land, on whose confines I stand, longing for home that shall be home no more. There stood my palace grand, where now on either hand the fiery swords of seraphs guard the door. There once I roamed to cull dear hopes more beautiful than siren thoughts that musing monks resist. Nothing too far or fair but its mirage was there, pictured upon the valley's rosy mist. There each sweet day I heard songs of a brooding bird, telling of purest pleasure yet to be. There by the singing streams faint forms of darling dreams loitered and lingered hand in hand with me. Ah, dim, dear Fancy-Land, thy welkin, rainbow spanned, the softened light of halcyon hours o'erpast, fading away, away, all the expanse is gray, as fades the moon on nights too fair to last. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In the Meadow by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. In the moonlit meadow my darling singeth, my love that is mine since yesterday. To the cope of heaven her pure voice ringeth, and my heart beats echo her roundelay. The moon dips lower, the stars peep over, they seem to flutter their silver wings, and down by her feet, mid the scented clover, the crickets are quavering drowsy things. The birds, half wakened, call each other, they twitter faintly, the boughs among. Down there in the meadow she waits her lover, and sings her love in a happy song. The trees by the brookside bend to hear her, the voice grows stronger, the clear tones rise, till the spotted moth-king pauses anear her, to bask in the light of her sunny eyes. I slip by the marshes, I steal through the clover, like the stealthy breeze of the fragrant south, to greet her, my darling, and claim like a lover the sweet of the song from her flowering mouth. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Fairy Fair by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Mabel, darling Mabel, dancing down the lane, flitting like a butterfly between the drops of rain. Now the sun, out peeping, gleams upon her hair, glitters in the dew that decks her feet so small and bare. Mabel, pretty Mabel, so gentle and so wild, she's not like other children, she's half a fairy child, ever watching, listening, so quick of eye and ear, as though she saw what none could see, heard what none could hear, in her bed at midnight, by her sister's side. "Tell me, Mabel, darling," so the sister cried, "why are you so silent, who used to be so bright, whispering to yourself all day, wakeful half the night? Tell me, for I love you, what has changed you so?" Then the little Mabel whispered shy and low, "Listen to my secret, I will tell you, dear, what no other creature, none but you must hear. Last midsummer morning, at the dawn of day, I rambled through the meadows, for a lonely play, in the willow copses we call the wilderness. I found, but guess, dear sister, no, you could never guess, I found a fairy table, round and draped in white, where the fairies left it, feasting overnight, heaped with tempting viands, dainty fruits and wine, and sparkling crimson goblets, all wreathed with partridge vine. "But oh, my little Mabel," the frightened sister spake, "you did not taste the fairies' fare, their bread you did not break." Alas, the pretty maiden, she shook her curly head To her anxious sister, whispering low, she said, "I sipped a sip of fairy wine, I tasted fairy bread." "I ate and drank," quoth Mabel, "and from that happy day, With mortal children large and rough, I have not cared to play. But I am ever waiting the coming of a band, To follow, 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 away to Fairy-Land. And so I watch and listen, until the Elfins come, To take me for their playmate, to make with me my home." Then up arose the sister, and to the woods she went, With the woodland creatures, a summer day she spent. Asked the woodland creatures, "Tell me, I implore, Must my little sister live with us no more?" Asked a squirrel, racing up a cherry tree, "Tell me, pretty squirrel, tell the truth to me." But the squirrel chattered, frisked and chattered on, Ate a wild red cherry, flung to her the stone. Then away he frolicked, with a laugh went he, Scampered down the cherry, up another tree. Then the sister wandered onward patiently, Found a big bee buzzing round a flowering vine, Sucking clover blossoms, quaffing scented wine, Asked of him so humbly, begged him so to stay, That he hummed around her, in his clumsy way. When he found the maiden was no monstrous flower, Off he flew in dudgeon to his honey tower. Many birds and insects flitted gaily by, Pausing not to listen, nor to make reply, Till a yellow flicker, tapping on a tree, Paused and listened gravely, listened curiously, Heard the mournful story that the sister told, Then with many an antic, pert and over bold, Answered while he neatly preened his wings of gold, "The child that feeds on fairy food never can grow old." "Oh, Flicker, pretty Flicker," she said with sob and sigh, "You mean my darling Mabel, my little pet, will die?" He spread his wings so lightly flew away, But the troubled sister wept the livelong day, Until a vesper sparrow, touched by her distress, lilted out his lyric, full of tenderness, with a soothing message, trilled the closing part. The child that feasts on fairy fare will keep a youthful heart. Footnote: A flicker is a golden-winged woodpecker. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Late Chrysanthemums by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Phil Shempf. Beneath the last October sun my drooping garden lies, a lovely woman past her prime with haggard eyes. She bloomed through many a sullen night, through many a sudden storm. The breeze that fanned her tears away was fond and warm. But now beneath the frost she lies, a lone neglected spot, most like a heart by coldness chilled, where love is not. The butterflies that shared her youth share now her dim decay. The birds that sought her in her joy have flown away. But here and there amid the wreck, the drift of leaves, appear the hardy late chrysanthemums to crown the year. Strong, bright, courageous as a smile they cheer the withered place. Like the last charm pale sorrow leaves a faded face. O frost, that comes to all, that spoils our blossoms one by one, mature these autumn flowers beneath our autumn sun, that when the days are growing dim and nears the wished-for end, some flower, some smile may still be ours to give a friend. And when, ere long, beneath the snow we rest secure from pain, like the old garden we shall find our flowers again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Indian Summer by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Yes, the sweet summer lingers still. The hazes loiter on the hill. The year, a spendthrift growing old, is scattering his lavish gold for a last pleasure. The robins flock, but do not go. We share the word with footsteps slow, in sober leisure, or sit beneath the chestnut tree, our hands in silent company. Not yet, dear friend, we part not yet. Full soon the last warm sun will set. The crickets cease to stir the grass, the gold and amber fade away, the scarlet from the landscape pass, and all the sky be sodden gray. Too soon, alas, the frost must fall, and blight the asters on the hill, the goldenrod, the gentians all, and we must feel the parting chill. But oh, not yet, not yet we part. The summer strains us to her heart. The world is all a golden smile, and we may love a little while. The summer dies, and hearts forget, and we must part. Not yet, not yet. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Guilty Lover and the Moon by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org. I see the married moon in the day. How pale she is! She steals away, like a beast the staghound track. She flies, and never turneth back. If I could know what she must know, a shrieking maniac I would go. What scenes she peers at in the night! Many a loathsome, deadly sight. Frightful acts and ghastly deeds, hateful crimes as common as weeds. No wonder she is pale with fright. She looks on horrid mysteries, and never shuts her shrinking eyes. She hears the cries of beaten wife, she hears small children plead for life. She sees where the murderer course is hid, where the miser open his coffers lead. She knows the pity of lives of shame. Every night she gazes on brutish acts without a name. No wonder she is pinched and worn. The sun on many a crime looked down, many a crime in many a town. Many a time he drinketh blood. Evil he sees in much of good, but he is bold and bright and strong, and think he knows the rights of wrong. He scatters his bounty everywhere, and smile with a hearty devil-may-care. A brave old optimist is he, but the moon is timid as she can be. For all the treasure under the ground, I would not find what she has found. O moon, you watched us on that night, lingering in your softened light. Full-faced, alone, you saw us stand, heart to heart and hand to hand. Flit on, our heaven's floor, and carry on your lined face, until wither in your place one secret more. One secret more. Be the judgment late, or be it soon, I know that the spirit of the moon will stand as witness at the rail, and shuddering begin her tale, every secret open wide. Naught forget and nothing hide, but till the dooming day shall come, the pale-faced coward must be dumb, till every evil be confessed. She may not rest. She may not rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Last Night by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. The Last Night. Ah, how she trembles when the night is long, and, sitting idle in her old arm-chair, she hears the rude wind shout his drunken song, while thoughts that sleep in light and only dare to walk like ghosts on wildest nights forlorn, hold ghostly counsel till the breaking morn. Thus, like the clangor of alarum bells, when on a sleeping town the rabble springs, a ringing in her pulses sobs and swells, and times the tune the bacchant tempest sings. This beats the hurried tocsin in her brain, and all her soul is sacked by fear again. Wild night, wild fear, strong love and stronger sin. Ah, recompense too just for me to bear. The casement shudders back, it flutters in, the trembling shadow of my guilt is there. And from the sleet, the night, the uproar wild, my shame and my despair, my child, my child. O little form that I may never fold, beyond my empty arms my baby stands. It sobs, it cries, it shivers with the cold. Its eyes are his, it wrings its tiny hands. Ah, God, my baby that may never rest in dewy slumber on my guilty breast. It was not I, thou little ghost, not I. I slept as one who would not wake again. They stole thee in my sleep. I could not die, but woke to loss and emptiness and pain. O heinous crime, to save an honored name, that none might point a finger at my shame. Here in my bosom burns a fiery tide, no velvet baby lips will suck away. O cruel hurt of love, O hellish pride, O murdered baby, take your eyes away. Thou weary child no mother love can warm, flit out into the night, the sleet, the storm. The wind is wilder. Ah, Christ, let me die. O tempest, blow away my listless breath, in some hid cavern with my child to lie. O sudden hope that gives me strength for death. She leaves the chair, she wanders far from home. I come, my little lonely one, I come. I reach the river. Oh, 'tis cold, but thou art colder still, and I am with thee now. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Night Watch by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. A shrouded man sits through the dark night upon the old roots of an oak, alone. She hears the wind, she sees no point of light. She rocks herself and cries, and maketh moan. The night grows wilder, and the owl is out. The field mice tremble to his shivering cry. The mad wind beats the homeless leaves about. Thin shapes of evil souls are hurtled by. She moans as one that mutters in his sleep, with cold and writhen lips that dully rave. Lo, I have murdered love and lain him deep, and I must sit and watch beside his grave. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Lost at Sea by Danske Dandridge, read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. Ah, many a time I have wept by night, I have moaned with the moaning sea, when the dear lost eyes of my dead delight looked out of her depths on me. And many a time when the sea was calm, and the moon was lying there, I have caught the gleam of a snowy arm and the glimmer of flowing hair. But I would I had died when the ship went down, that was bringing my love to me, when my hope and my heart and my all went down to the heart of the heaving sea. How she moans all night for the cruel deed, she moans for she cannot rest. And she cradles my bride with the brown seaweed in the swell of her troubled breast. How she sucks my life with her sobbing breath, how she draws me with her spell, till I know that at last I shall sink in death, where the coil sea serpents dwell. Then my spirit will haste to her resting place, as she lies on the wreck-strewn floor. I will shelter my love in a close embrace, till the sea shall be no more. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Message by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. I dreamed I lived beside the talking sea, and great white birds were neighborly to me. They brought me tidings strange from many lands, and ate the broken limpets from my hands. I tied a message to an osprey's breast, and sent him o'er the foam upon my quest, to find my love where southern billows beat, and drop the folded question at his feet. I watched beside the sea for many days, and strained my sight across the briny ways. I saw his arrow wings that shot the blue, and to my arms the errant osprey flew. Straight to my arms as to a place of rest, a drop of blood was on his snowy breast. Upon his snowy breast the stain was red, and I was answered, and the bird was dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Lullaby by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. 1. The great white moon is wandering over the sky, and she sings as she goes. 'Tis an ancient lullaby. The rocking sea looks up, for he hears her song, and a dropping stillness follows the sound along. 'Tis a spell for his lonely heart that she sings so low, Stiller and stiller and stiller the billows grow, calmer and calmer the passionate heart of the deep, for she croons and croons till she croons him away to sleep. II. And I and my heart are alone by the quieted sea, and my heart is burning and beating and wild in me, but I know a white lady, magnetic and illustrious and dear, with a tranquil and delicate voice I am starving to hear, and I would she were singing, singing, singing so low, stiller and stiller and stiller my heart would grow, my turbulent heart with its surge like the surge of the deep, would be solaced and silenced and sung like the sea to sleep. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Exaltation by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruskachuk. Play on my soul, thou spirit from the skies, and with me rise far o'er the tops of upward gazing trees, that I, before so mute, transformed, become thy lute, may learn the secret of all harmonies, be seated in a warm love light, play tenderly, and from some tranquil height drop down clear notes of peace to men below. Possess me, fly with me, I care not where we go. Ah, do not sing of pain, but from the chords entice at eve a touching strain, and by some rare device turn all my tears to music pearls, and set about the borders of thy living lute, to make, when thou dost sing, continuous murmuring, faint as the echo of a Naiad's flute, but flowing with a cool, refreshing sound, like hidden waters springing from the ground. Sometimes I pray thee, spirit, linger long over a drowsy song, such as new-mated thrushes lisp in sleep. Make it so soothing and so low, that they who lie awake and know how tardily the moments come and go, all they who lie awake to weep, may feel it like a touch of tenderness, and only they may hear, and only they may bless. Into thy music put the budding spring, with all her birds and every pleasant thing, with words like flowers thy singing pastures set, to teach me to forget the fury and the fret, the flexed chords that the world had keyed too low, the strident wail, the shrilling discontent, and all the dissonance that marred me so before I had become thy instrument. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Fate by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. With Sodom apples fill thy harvest bin. Barter heart wealth for gold in fashion's mart. Traverse rough seas some distant port to win, without a chart. Fray the fine cord of love until it break. Launch thy pirogue before the storm abate. Tease the prone, sleeping peril till it wake, then rail at fate. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Morning Roses by Danske Dandridge, read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. O roses glowing in this amber bowl, O roses gleaming in your happy dew, I would I had some roses in my soul, as beautiful as you. Such thoughts as children think in holy mood, such thoughts as infants guardian forms of light, or purest maidens dream in solitude, should be my roses white. Stirrings of hope and joy as fair as brides, such thoughts as victor souls in heaven think. Musings of saints with vision satisfied, should be my roses pink. With flaming zeal and infinite desire, with brave renewal after blight of woe, with strong endeavour and celestial fire, my golden rose should glow. A wise new plan for helping men forlorn, a sympathy of great compassion bred, a warmth of love from suffering nobly born, should be my roses red. Had I such blossoms blowing in my soul, how gladly would I pluck them for my King, and bring them brimming o'er life's golden bowl, a morning offering. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Singing Heart by Danske Dandridge, read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Thou heart, why dost thou lift thy voice? The birds are mute, the skies are dark, nor doth a living thing rejoice, nor doth a living creature hark, yet thou art singing in the dark. How small thou art, how poor and frail, thy prime is past, thy friends are chill, yet as thou hadst not any ail, throughout the storm thou liftest still a praise that winter cannot chill. Then sang that happy heart reply, God lives, God loves, and hears me sing. How warm, how safe, how glad am I, in shelter 'neath his spreading wing, and there I can not choose but sing. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Lines on the Death of Sidney Lanier by Danske Dandridge, read for LibriVox.org by Stefan. Alas, alas, my brother, art thou gone? Has so much music from the dumb earth fled? And must we love and yearn and labor on? Alas, alas, I cannot make thee dead. Thou stainless night without reproach or fear, shall we who love thee never hear again thy wondrous voice ring grandly, clarion clear, above the clamor of life's battle plain? Lo, where fair Georgia mourns and beats her breast, I mark the flashing of her diadem. Star-like it gleams upon her bended crest, she wears thy glory there, her brightest gem. Through all the teeming land from ocean's surge to farther ocean is thy requiem borne. The cornfields rustle thee a sombre dirge, and droop for thee, O poet of the corn. Sleep well, dear brother, in thy resting place, lulled by the murmur of a country's sighs. The sky above thee hath a mother's face, and all the holy stars are loving eyes. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Wings by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. Shall we know in the hereafter all the reasons that are hid? Does the butterfly remember what the caterpillar did? How he waited, toiled, and suffered to become the chrysalid? When we creep so slowly upward, when each day new burden brings, when we strive so hard to conquer vexing sublunary things, when we wait and toil and suffer, we are working for our wings. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Are You Glad? By Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria de Fátima da Silva. Are you glad, my big brother, my deep-hearted oak? Are you glad in each open palm leaf? Do you joy to be God's? Does it thrill you with living delight? Are you sturdy in stalwart belief, as you stand day and night? As you stand through the nights and the days, do you praise? O strenuous vine, do you run, as a man runs a race to a goal? Your end, the God's will, may be done, like a strong sinewed soul. Are you glad? Do you praise? Do you run? And shall I be afraid, like a spirit undone? Like a sprout in deep shade, like an infant of days? When I hear, when I see and interpret aright the winds in their jubilant flight, the manifest peace of the sky and the rapture of light, the paean of waves as they flow, the stars that reveal the deep bliss of the night, the unspeakable joy of the air, and feel as I feel, and know as I know God is there? Hush! For I hear him, enshrined in the heart of the wood. 'Tis the priestly and reverent thrush, anointed to sing to our God, and he hymns it full well, all I stammer to tell, all I yearn to impart. Listen, the strain shall sink into the heart, and soften and swell, till its meaning is plain, and love in its manifold harmonies that shall remain, shall remain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Stream and I by Danske Dandridge. Read for LibriVox.org by Linda Marie Nielsen, Vancouver, BC. We ramble on, the stream and I, still singing, still companionless. We run to find, beneath the sky, some arid spot, some life to bless. The brook is dreaming of the sea, but I, fond spirit, dream of thee. The brook's bright waters flow and flow, all lush and green his track appears, and it is given me to know some choral of the chanting spheres. Our lives are tuneful as the birds, with rippled song and gentle words. And if sometimes we look apart, in secret grot or covered dale, to bid a space and gather heart, anon we're laughing down the vale. Through rain or tears our forces swell, we find the sun, and all is well. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Rose Break by Danske Dandridge.